Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode for the Just a Tip newsletter. Really happy today to have Michael McGreevey with us. Michael, thank you for joining us today, mate.
My pleasure. Happy to be here.
Looking forward to hearing all of the things that you've been doing with AI. So we had a bit of a chat beforehand, and you mentioned that the way you're using AI is kind of different to some of the other marketing and content tasks that are being done by everyone else. Could you just explain a little bit about what you're doing with AI in your business?
Yeah, sure. Well, what I see happening out there in the market is a lot of people are going after the time efficiency grab, the cash grab, like automating tasks, like speeding things up, getting rid of things you don't want to do, some data analysis, whatever. And all those things are great, but the thing that blew my mind with AI, personally, and what I'm helping people with is learning how to use AI as a strategic thought partner so they can make better decisions, plan further into the future, and it really creates a mind shift, like a perspective shift on what's possible in business. So I'm helping leaders to experience that mind shift so they can really just plan and honestly, so they can survive. Because that's what's come. It's here now. We say it's coming, but it's actually here. So
Yeah, I totally agree. I think there's a huge shift required in a vast majority of people's thinking when it comes to what's happening with AI, not just in the future, but now, because obviously things are moving so fast. So, on that note, how well prepared do you think people are on the whole for what's coming in terms of AI?
well, it's I've seen this in articles I've read, and it seems to be what I'm noticing personally as well. Is there's just a disparity. There's like it's almost like two groups. You've got people that are lagging behind, hesitant a little bit, dabbling around, and you've got people that are headlong, jumping in, grabbing the bull by the horns and going fast and really paying attention. And so there's a gap being created between the people that are running hard and like riding the wave and the people that are, just busy and not sure what to do. And I think that's what part of what it is like people are overwhelmed. There's so much hype, there's so many headlines every single day. And this message of you better get on board or you're going to be left behind. And it's a little bit paralyzing to people. So you've got kind of two groups. And I've always gravitated toward helping people, you know, get moving and like experience the transformation that I had myself. And so that's where I'm most attracted to is helping people like have that aha moment so they can get moving. Cause if you don't get moving, you will lose in some way or another.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So, digging a little bit deeper into your transformation, then, could you tell us a little bit about your transformation with AI?
Yeah. Well, I'm a strategy guy. I'm a strategic thinker. I'm a systems thinker. I'm always looking at the bigger picture. So those are just always the questions going on in my head. And so naturally, when I like got introduced to ChatGPT and Claude and other AI tools, those are the questions that I'm asking it and the conversations that I'm having. And the way I describe it is you take a small step and you see what it can do and you get a little feedback from it and you're impressed, and then you do something else and you get kinda disappointed it doesn't do what you want, and then you learn how to ask better questions, and eventually you learn how to communicate with it, and that loop just keeps spiraling up to the point where my brain has literally changed from 2 years ago when I first started to now. I see the world differently, I hear problems differently, I my expectations are different of what's possible. So it has changed my brain, just like it has for everybody that we have the internet now and you can Google things and everybody knows that you can Google things and get answers quickly through search. So it's just a common knowledge baseline experience that you would expect anyone to be able to do. And so we're on the front edge of that with AI and being able to uplevel your thinking and strategy. And it's new for people. So for me, it was that what I call it amplifies your strengths so that you can do superhuman things. And the things I was already great at, I'm now superhuman. I feel superhuman. I can do things I could have never done before help clients I never could have talked to before, and do a great job at it because I was already good at some very human, natural things. AI is amplifying those things. And so I think there's a version of that for everybody. And I just want to help people like figure out what is that for you. And I think for strategic thinking, every leader can grow in that area. So
Totally, yeah, and I think what you've said there's really key as well is it also improves how you think and how you look at things, and one of the things I've noticed with myself and problems is you kind of look at them the other way around now. It's like, okay, so this is the issue I've got, but with AI, I can ask this question, and then we can figure out this bit, and we can reverse engineer that, and then if we give it this information, it's going to be able to give us this. And I think that's one of the real keys, because I know a lot of people are scared that with certainly the younger generation, they can just ask a question to AI, not look at the question, not look at the answer, and just paste it into whatever they're doing, right? And I think it's a double-edged sword in that way, because you can do that, but then you can also use it and read what it's saying to you and say, well, I like that or I don't like that. So I think that's a real key of how AI is going to roll out for people. So in terms of Jeff's community, how did you come across Jeff's community, and what's your experience been since joining it?
yeah, probably about a year ago, I joined the AI persona method and then the consulting course. And I've been a consultant for years in the kind of marketing strategy growth area. And so adding AI into everything just amplified myself, like I was saying. So that's how I got introduced to Jeff, was through that AI persona course and consulting program. And yeah, so it's been great. There's a great community. I get a lot from just being on a call with a dozen people or whatever that'll show up and hearing what other people are doing. We all learn from each other, and people share. People are generous in sharing what they're working on, and it's like an inside track to, it's a mastermind of people that we all benefit from being together and can take those learnings out to our clients. And I got people I can refer clients to, or I get referred to through people in the group as well. So it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I always think it adds on to what you were saying earlier about using AI gives you all this further capability and ability to think and do more than you could do before. But then if you're doing that in a group with loads of other people that are doing the same thing, you've got like a hive mind full of hive minds.
Mhm.
And it's like, wow, where can that go? So I think that's a huge benefit of the community and just the people that are in that community as well. So interesting, as we said earlier, you mentioned that these changes about AI and people say it's coming, and you said it's already here. How do you see the next 12 months, the next 24 months playing out in terms of AI and business and life, really?
Hmm. I don't spend a lot of time trying to predict what's gonna happen a year out, but, I mean, a year is short enough that I think it's a solid amount of time for people to say, "Okay, I'm gonna take the next year to really learn how to" I say adopt and adapt, because the adoption is just, "Okay, I'm gonna use tools, I'm gonna use things," but the adapting is, like, changing how you think, and changing how you act, and changing what you expect, and those things. And so that takes time. The transformation for me wasn't, you can have an aha moment in one day, no doubt. But the actual adaptation and the reworking of your brain takes time and repetition and success and failure. And over a year, people can get to a level where they may not be fully adopting AI in their whole business, and that's fine. But I think leaders need to get to a place where they get it. They actually understand the value of AI, and to a conviction level, so that when they speak to their teams about it, their teams believe them, and their teams say, "I can tell our boss or our leader is actually interested and knows what he's talking about," as opposed to just delegating out to agents or agencies or consultants or everything, like, just do the chat gbt for me. No, you have to learn how to interact with it, just as a thought partner, so that you can raise yourself to a level where you can make decisions. And it's just another higher level of being when you're with AI. And so if leaders don't get to that point in the next year, I think what's going to happen is The people that are doing it are just really going to start pulling away and going to start seeing results from it. And the people that haven't started yet are going to scramble and they're going to look for quick fixes. And that is not the way to go. The way to go is to, it might sound like a not that long, but take the long road. Take a year to really learn AI and use it personally, implement in low stress situations when you're scrambling and trying to fix everything and catch up to your competitors and you know that pressure is on and you're going to make mistakes, you're going to make bad decisions and you don't have time to learn it the way you really need to. So there's going to be a problem if people don't get on board. So um, I'm just trying to rescue those people and get them on the ship so or on the surfboard so they can ride the wave, you know.
Chucking out the AI lifeboats to get people to the main AI ship. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I feel like we're almost going to enter that age where not using AI and understanding how to use it is going to be the same as when you went to a meeting in like the late 90s and people were or early noughties and people were still printing out their meeting notes instead of getting them by email. You know, you always get that old leader that doesn't want to change and this is never going to work, or who's ever going to buy their shopping online? That's never going to catch on. Or and you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, well, I know people that still print out their emails. They get emails, but then they print them and save them.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I saw a printer, if I'm honest.
I have an old one in the closet if you wanna see it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a 3D printer or something like that. But no, I totally agree. I feel like this whole shift, it's essential that we help everyone else on this journey because it's not just a, oh, now I'm using ChatGPT, I understand it. It is exactly what you're saying. It's a whole new way of communicating, is knowing the parameters of what does work and what doesn't work. It's knowing what you can trust and what you can't trust from an AI tool. And I think all of that is going to be the key to the future. So yeah, I appreciate that. So if anyone listening wants to follow you or your business, like where's the best place for them to find you, Michael?
Yeah, I like to send people to LinkedIn, Michael McGreevey on LinkedIn. You'll see a picture of me, looks like me, and,
We can put the links down below as well.
yeah, sure. My company's called Zoom Out Group. It's zoomoutgroup.com, and, yeah, I'm most active on LinkedIn. That's my favorite, and happy to connect with anybody. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what we'll do is we'll put the links in the bottom so people can get in touch as they need to. But I would love to continue this again, another interview in 6 months' time, so we can see where AI has gone in that period of time and catch up again.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Well, Michael, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Appreciate your time.